2, 3, 4, the hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Sometimes you go over the top rope and you bang your head on the ring apron. Don't do that. That's when you feel like a big dope. And they're the worst bumps you can be taking. Oh, it's the hardest part of the ring. It's the hardest part of the ring. Sometimes you're distracting the referee, and the babyface has your wrestler pinned. Then you get bumped to the ring apron, and you realize all the trouble you're in, 'cause it's the hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. One more, sometimes you reach out for the hot tag, and you make your own comeback, knock it off. That's when you should quit wrestling, and you're better off rolling in thumbtacks. AEW, the hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Hey, double claps. It's episode 99, Bob Squad. Let's go bananas. It's the hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Ba-da-ba-da. Whoa! Yay! What's going on, you crazy cats? You wild savages, you rabid dogs. Pissing in the wind, burn the candle at both ends, burn the midnight oil, punching the clock, passing the buck, working hard but hardly working. What are you doing, Bob Squad? We are talking about the Hulu edition. The Hulu edition. WWE Monday Night Raw for July 26th of 2001. Let me say this first. I am aware that there is a Karrion Kross versus Keith Lee match that did not make Hulu. I'm aware something happened with Eva and Doudrop and Alexa and Lily the Doll, and I think Natalya got hurt in a tag match or something like that. None of that made Hulu either. Anything with Mace, T-Bar, Ali, Mansoor, none of that made Hulu. Keith and Cross, because they're new arrivals, is the biggest surprise to me, but, well, those are your NXT champions for you. It's WWE Monday Night Raw, everybody. We all know the drill. We all know the skinny. We all know the deep dish. We've been hoodwinked, flim-flam, shim-shammed, and bamboozled. Had the rug pulled over our eyes. Had the carpet swept out from under our feet. They're pulling our rope. They're yanking our chains, saying stuff and doing things. Saying stuff related to the things we're doing. Doing stuff in correlation with the things we are saying. And when it's all said and done, there's nothing left to say or do. We start the program with Nikki A.s.h, the champion, or the new champion from last week. Well, that makes sense. Nikki A.s.h. It's not Nikki A.s.h. It's easier to say Nikki A.s.h. Charlotte will come out shortly and call her Nikki A.s.h. But be that as it may, her name is Nikki A.s.h. That's the worst part of this. So this was interesting. Nikki makes her way down the aisle, and it is refreshing to see a babyface like high five fans and stuff. And this was cool. A lot of kids, especially like young girls, were like really happy and had their Nikki A.s.h. signs and whatever. And it was cool to see the baby face high five them. There was some mixed reaction. I heard some boos, but I heard some cheers too. Once the music died down, I'm like, we're gonna hear it. And there were some dudes, arms folded, not caring, yada yada yada. The almost part of this is just goofy to me. I don't understand it. I'm lost on the almost part of the almost superhero. Yeah, I don't get it. I think it just makes her look less than like it makes her look dumb. You know what I mean? It makes her look like she's like, I'm not really that great. Throughout this broadcast, Nikki gives like the same promo like 4 times or 3 times. It's still a bit much. I'm a big fan of Nikki Cross, the wrestler or whatever, so I'm happy for her. And I'm happy, it was good to see like little kids cheering a babyface, so I was able to brush it off and be like, alright, somebody's digging this. I mean, I'm trying to flash back where all the parents cheering Coco Beware and the Bushwhackers. I don't know. I don't know the answer. The kids were doing the bird floppy dance arm thing. Were the parents doing it? Probably not. Why did I bring Coco into this? I don't know. Okay. Well, the crowd is hot, Coco, because Charlotte comes to the ring, and little things that make Nikki look kind of dumb, like she's bobbing her head to Charlotte's music. Like this should be the time where she says, "Oh, I may be in trouble here," or "Let me get ready for a fight. Let me brace myself because there may be an altercation here." No, I'm just gonna bob my head to Charlotte's music. She's still having a good, like she's one of the fans. It brings her down a little too much. It's a nitpick, but why are we here? Charlotte. I just brought Coco Beware into this. Charlotte Flair brings Al Roker into this. They didn't think Al Roker's name was gonna make an appearance in any of this. But something about predicting the weather or being in a. No, he's not a weatherman anymore. Bob, what year is it? Um, Being on whatever today's Good Morning America talk show, something, whatever the hell Al Roker's, some kind of morning bullshit. I'm sure him and some smiling faces are hosting. Um, Charlotte's promo pretty much points out all the flaws in the Money in the Bank concept. Then Rhea comes to the ring, and Rhea gets a big cheer and a chant, and everyone's happy to see Rhea. And in my head, I'm thinking, just don't talk. Why can't she just walk to the ring and start punching Charlotte? And then, of course, she takes a microphone and talks. No. It's a big Rhea chant, though. At one point, Charlotte just interrupted Rhea with duh, which I thought was kind of funny. Then the most obvious, the triple threat is announced for SummerSlam: Nikki, Rhea, Charlotte, because Adam Pearce and Sonya. This entire thing, oh yeah, and they say there's going to be. They don't say non-title now; it's a championship contenders match, which it isn't though. It makes no goddamn sense. Anyway, Nikki and Charlotte are going to wrestle in a match later tonight. All of this took 19 minutes to set up. These three women are not happy with each other. I can't say they're all mad at each other because Nikki doesn't seem to be mad at anybody. 19 minutes to say it's going to be a triple threat at SummerSlam and Charlotte versus Nikki tonight. 19 minutes. Wow. It's boring. I'm sorry. It got boring. It's too long. Damian Priest is backstage in a pre-tape thing. He doesn't like Sheamus. Then Damian Priest wrestles Sheamus in a contenders match. It's not a non-title match. It doesn't. Oh, what the hell is it? What now? We're going to lose the word ring. We're going to lose the word rope. We're going to lose turnbuckle. We're going to lose everything. We're going to lose a referee. Oh, they're officials. They're not referees. I'm sorry. Who cares anymore? Wrestling is dead. Damian Priest and Sheamus have a good hard-hitting match. Two big bruisers smacking each other around. The story here, of course, is that Sheamus has his nose protector on. Sheamus at one point drops Damian Priest spine first across the ring apron, which, if you did not know, is the hardest part of the ring. And there's this wonderful, wonderful moment where Damian Priest does like a spinning heel kick, and as it strikes Sheamus, the mask flies off. I'm sure the mask, Sheamus had help, or gave the mask help by shoving it off, but right at the perfect time. It was just so smooth and well done, and just looked realistic. I loved it. I loved it. Priest wins the thing, and Damian Priest, Sheamus yells about his broken nose. Then the Vikings wrestle. The Vikings are backstage. Are they backstage or no? Yes. No, they're not backstage. They're making their way to ringside. Sorry. And they wrestle AJ Styles and Omos for a non-title, or I think the tag team championship's on the line. It doesn't really matter, because AJ and Omos win anyway. There's a big pick you up by your head slam on Eric, and AJ Styles, who's still amazing at 64 years old, does a springboard 450 for the 1-2-3. And this is how you do a cool athletic move and stay a heel. He did it to show off, and he didn't need to, because his big bruiser Omos really won the thing for him. But he did it just to show you that he could. Kind of just did something awesome, but he didn't do something awesome to wow you. He did it to show you, yeah, I can. And because this big bruiser set it up for me, I'll do this cool thing. So AJ Styles is absolutely wonderful. And then what happens? There's a recap of Drew McIntyre hitting one of Jinder Mahal's friends with 34 chair shots. A little excessive. 2 or 3 would have been good. Drew McIntyre then comes out to summon the Thundercats, and there's some fake stone or a well or something that you throw the sword into. You ever see Spinal Tap? Of course you have. Where they want like a 20-foot or a 12-foot stone or something, or a prop that looks like a 12-foot Stonehenge, and it ends up being like a foot and a half Stonehenge, and then the little people dance around it and everyone laughs. Well, you're not as confused as Nigel, are you? Like that's what this that stone thing reminded me of. But after Drew summons the Thundercats, he wrestles Oh, they introduced an attorney. Jinder Mahal has an attorney. I don't know why. It's just probably some indie guy or something. And Jinder's one of his big buddies, Veer, Veer. Veer wrestles Drew. And Drew McIntyre did not say, what is this, a bring your own Veer party? I don't know why. Jinder Mahal did not say, you have nothing to fear but Veer himself. Why not? Why did no one say this? It's right there. Well, this match ended in DQ. There was some kind of thing. Jinder gave a chair to Veer. Veer held the chair in front of his face for no reason and got claymored by Drew McIntyre in the face, and the referee disqualified Drew. Probably for the better to have the technical DQ. Have Drew technically lose, but not really. Give him a reason to stay pissed at Jinder for an inevitable SummerSlam match, which I wonder if it'll have some kind of wacky chair gimmick in it. A chairs match or whatever the hell, I don't know the answer. A blonde lady is talking to Nikki a.s.h, and Rhea Ripley sneaks up behind her and says, I'm going to beat you at SummerSlam, but beat Charlotte tonight. Very good. Bobby Lashley and MVP are here. We recap all the Goldberg nonsense. Of course, Goldberg can only make limited appearances, so he is not here to help further this. So Cedric, Alexander, and Shelton Benjamin have to arrive, and somehow there's a differently disabled adults match of Lashley versus Cedric and Shelton. Lashley, you're not going to believe this, defeats them. He does the booby slam on Cedric Alexander. Yeah, he's beating Shelton up. I think he speared Shelton and did like a jackhammer on him or something to call out Goldberg. That's his way of saying yes, he accepts the challenge. He pins them both, 1, 2, 3. I should have mentioned this. Every match so far has gotten exactly 14,730 stars. I don't know why. It's amazing how it worked, but please don't question the system. 14,730. Morrison and Miz are backstage and are talking to AJ Styles at Omos, and Omos uses his body to block the camera from seeing the secret conversation, which was a nice little touch, something different. And Matt Riddle wrestles Morrison. He enters, and the Miz is in a wheelchair, and he sprays Byron with the drip stick. Good God, excessively. And Corey's laughing at him, and everyone's laughing, and Byron is visibly upset, and he's covered in water. And he's just really, really not happy. And Miz just keeps being a jerk and spraying him and laughing at him. Riddle wrestles John Morrison. And this cracked me up. The second that Corey is done laughing at Byron for getting sprayed with water, and there's all this extra nonsense and talk of drip sticks and moist wanted and all this. The second that's over, the Jimmy Smith guy goes, oh, something Iranian knee bar by Riddle putting the pressure on the ligament. Shut the fuck up. Thanks for trying. I appreciate you trying, but it's over, dude. We're going to miss you, Jimmy Smith. We really are. What are you thinking, man? Good God. You just have to, I don't know, you got to roll with it. Eventually, the biggest pop of this match for the first half, because they do go to break in the middle, was Riddle just is standing on a ring apron, which is the hardest part of the ring, and he kicks Miz, who's in a wheelchair, and Miz falls down, and Riddle then lays on the ring apron, which is the hardest part of the ring, and does the turtle thing to imitate Miz, who cannot move because he is differently disabled at the moment. And then we go to break, and we come back, and Omos and AJ Styles are here. Omos breaks Riddle's scooter, which is not nice. And then Johnny Drip Drip hits this move called Splash Mountain, this twisting razor's edge into a sidewalk, sideways, something, something, something. Does a Starship Pain, has a little stumble, but gets back up and just does it without the momentum, which is even more impressive. And he hit it like square clean, too. 1, 2, 3, John Morrison wins. This match actually got 15,180 stars, so I'm glad I cut it off when I did. Otherwise, the whole system would look fraudulent. What happens? There's a beatdown. Everybody beats up Riddle. They hit the Styles Clash on Riddle, and there's a big chant for Randy Orton, who never arrives, and we go to break. Charlotte Flair is talking to a blonde lady, and Charlotte invents the word rudely. Not rudely. She says Nikki a.s.h, who cares? Nikki rudely interrupted her. I didn't know that. And Charlotte enters the ring for a match with Nikki a.s.h. So does Nikki. The two have a back and forth. Well, not back and forth. Charlotte beats the tar out of her. Starts it with a clothesline. Chops her to hamburger meat. Nikki fires back a little bit here and there. High cross off the top. Very Steamboat and Flair-ish.
Not Rick and Ricky, Ricky and Charlotte. Very, very Ricky Steamboat and Charlotte Flairish and those great matches they used to have. No, anyway, Charlotte catches Nikki, rolls through the crossbody, gets the 1, 2, 3, and pins Nikki, which is the right thing to do going into this match. Better put some sympathy on Nikki. You can't just have Nikki fluke winning every week because that mix of cheers and boos is going to end up being more boos. Keep doing that. Charlotte today, and I'm going to finish the aftermath in a second. I noticed every time it looked like Nikki was starting to get booed and being shit on a little bit and turned on by the people, Charlotte, her very existence, whether it's something she said or something she did, Charlotte's very existence was saving Nikki. Yeah. It's so hard not to say Nikki Cross, goddamn. But Charlotte was saving Nikki here, and because I really feel like it would have been an even worse reaction for Nikki without Charlotte there, because it's like they're not booing Nikki, they're booing the gimmick mostly, and Charlotte, I think they're just sick of seeing on TV. I am not sick of seeing Charlotte; she's my favorite, but there is a bit of an overexposure. It's a 3-hour show, and I think she spent more time in the last few years on Raw than SmackDown because SmackDown's 2 hours. Even with some of her stints where she's been away, when she is there, she's there. She's there and there and there. She's never there and in the background, you know. Charlotte's on TV when she's active. Just still most of the time she's active a lot. So I get it. It's Charlotte fatigue, I guess. I'm fine with it, but I kind of I watch it for different reasons now with my background and being trained under Alpha. Which, by the way, this is episode 99. Episode 100 will come out a little bit after this. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Then episode 100, 101, 101, all starts all over again with NXT coming out. Probably about 24 hours from now, from whenever I'm recording it and from whenever you're hearing it. Most likely, you guys are probably asleep right now. I'm talking just to my Bob squad in Europe. Okay. An Irish guy runs out and he's got a microphone and Nikki says something about I lost, but I have confidence. She said the word confidence 80 times in this show. And Charlotte says, "Okay, I'll accept your challenge to wrestle next week." And then Charlotte jumps her. Nikki accepts a left-handed handshake, which again, my biggest concern is not so much the corniness of the gimmick, as they're making Nikki look stupid. Okay, and she accepts the left-handed handshake, so Charlotte can smash her with the right forearm. Why can't Charlotte just smash her with the left? I don't know. But anyway, Charlotte beats the crud out of her, a big boot, throws her around outside, shoves her face near, and this is nice, a nice touch. Charlotte shoves Nikki's face near one of the fans, um, who had a Nikki Ash, who cares, a Nikki Ash sign. And are these your people? Is this your hero? Yada, yada, yada. Throws her back in, another big boot. And she didn't do any of those big boots during the match, which is good. So she does them after their beatdown. And we ended with Nikki laying and no Rhea running. And again, I like Rhea and all, but it would have been, it's already too much. It would have been way extra too much. And we need sympathy on Nikki. If Rhea comes out and then Nikki and Rhea bump Charlotte out of there, it's like, okay. So what? It's over. There's no real. We can't 50-50 the shit out of this thing. Especially because this Rhea Charlotte thing has been so confusing and befuddled. Might as well just dump all the heat on Charlotte then. Fuck it. Which I think is, I mean, I think Rhea's officially a babyface now. What we need to see Rhea do is wrestle a heel that isn't Charlotte. Just beat her in 3 minutes or whatever the fuck. Just to cement it. Because, like, Rhea's a face, but her whole existence is just anti-Charlotte. Shouldn't Rhea have a... God, they fired everybody. God damn it, I'm trying to think who's still there. Because Mandy's in NXT. I don't know where Dana is. I don't think Dana's really a bad guy. Tamina and Natalia are the tag champs now. You don't want to muddy them up. Oh, Shayna and Nia are still around. Yeah, they're not beating Nia. Oh, Shayna, you're going to lose. Shouldn't Rhea run in and beat Eva Marie? How happy would the fans be if Rhea came in and beat Eva Marie in 2 moves or whatever the hell? Um, I don't know. I don't know. Poor Irish guy. And little things Charlotte does so well. The mic's on the floor. She tells Irish guy, pick up my microphone, hand me the mic. And right before that, she actually walked away because she knew that Irish guy was supposed to say something else. So she walks away with the mic and stops. She goes, "Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to take your mic away," which is very un-Queen-like, but a funny moment. She kind of said it with some sarcasm anyway, so it's fine. Not a bad Raw. I mean, listen, of course it's not going to be as good as last week, but last week was the first live one, and yeah, they did have to hotshot that one a little bit. It's an unprecedented time, and it was good to throw out all the big guns and have Cena show up at top and Goldberg and then yada yada yada, and the surprise cash in of the title change at the end. Yeah, that was the right move. I mean, they're gonna now we have to. We knew the second. I mean, the second live Raw back was going to be a little more rebuild. Can we entertain the people? So now can we really entertain the people with who we have? Who are they really responding to? How do they respond to Cross and Lee? I don't know, because that match apparently wasn't worth putting on Hulu. I don't understand, but I thank you all, and I hope you listen to the upcoming. This is number 99, the upcoming 100th episode of the hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Ba-da-ba-da.